Okay, let's bring the first blueprint of spirit home for now from the 90 degrees of scale. Just like everything at Resvita, we go through the 941. There's so much more to do in spirit as we continue to scale. For now, this is what we need to focus on to get ourselves up to a decent size where we're not doing everything, to build with clarity, to get a decent team together that can support us. And so to close this off, we're going to talk about connection. The spirit, the culture of a company, the outcome from that we're moving towards is not only community, but connection. Because you can build a community, a vast number of people that know about you and around your world. But if they're not connected, you're not getting the most out of it. That's what we do at Resvita too. We're building a community and doing everything we can to connect each other. Because if we can go from competition to collaboration, then we've won. And connection and community is built. It's growing. Like we talked about Google earlier, you can go out and buy ping pong tables, some bean bags, rip out your stairs and put in slides, but it's not going to get you connection unless you plan for it. Those are things, they're not alignment. So as we go through this now, we're going to look at connection, because the companies that can build community and connection over the next decade or more will absolutely dominate. Because in a world we're more and more disconnected, even though we've got unlimited ways to connect, the level of connection has dropped to almost nothing. We're more reserved than ever. And then COVID put a bullet in that too. So how do we rebuild community and connection? We're going to go through that now. So with community and connection, you've got to look at how am I going to plan this into my culture? The way you move to connection is through collaboration, respect and trust, and belonging. Collaboration, like we spoke about earlier, if people are competing inside your business for the same role, to climb up the corporate ladder, to undermine people, you're not going to win. It's a simple shift, but it's profound to get people collaborating that your success is my success. And even you as the company owner, how do you show your people that your success is their success? So they get behind you, not just, I'm just lining the boss's pockets. How do you build trust? Stephen Covey's got an amazing book called The Speed of Trust. I remember reading it years ago. And I've used that in my life to speed things along, because it speeds it up. When you trust each other, bang, off you go. You don't need contracts. You don't need meeting minutes. You don't need all these things, check-ins, because you trust it's going to be done. And if you need help, I'll come back. And so how do you bring that into your business? The first way is to see where you are. So many companies have got no community and no connection. And oftentimes, because they don't even know to focus on it. And this is one of the biggest core causes you can work on to eliminate a ton of symptoms. So let's figure out where you are with your current reality. So how well do your team members feel connected to the company's mission and values? How do they see that your success is their success, that their success is your success? And that how does the person next to them benefit them in collaboration? Are there strong, supportive relationships between employees and leaders? Is it us versus them? Oh, you don't get us. It's hot out here. You don't give us what we need. You're sitting in the aircon. Guys sitting in the aircon in the office. Oh, those guys out there, blah, 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 blah. Where's the relationship? Where's the empathy? Where's the perspective? Can you build that? How often does the business engage with its community or clients in a meaningful way? Do you have a way to go out and give back? Do you do charitable events? Do you go and pick up rubbish on your street? It doesn't matter what it is, but how are you engaging with the community? Do employees feel a sense of belonging and inclusion within the team? I know it can be hard in the trade industry. Some people get picked on, there's banter, but remember, you cannot not communicate. You've got to look at what's going on, and you as a leader, if you jump onto that banter, can really be detrimental to your culture. How effectively do teams collaborate and communicate across departments? Is there a connection between them, or is it sales versus operations versus projects? The easiest way to look at this in your company is exactly that. Do sales whinge about projects and operations? Do projects whinge about sales? They're actually needing to work together. They can't operate without one another. That's connection. Figuring out we need the sales team and they need to be a bit more flamboyant, less detail, making promises. Over here in projects, we've got to be a bit slower, detailed orientated, and making sure we deliver on those promises. And there's that tension between the two. And if it's not designed well, you're going to have friction. We want to create synergy. That's the sum is greater than the parts. 1 + 1 = 2 is not synergy. That's just what it is. 1 + 1 = 5, 7, 10 times the output is synergy. But what we see in most companies is 1 + 1, another person, equals half. There's so much friction. Don't worry about that. I knew that was going to happen to you. It can take time. Wherever you are in your connection, where there's none, we've got great connection, there's always more. So where are you out of those 5? And what does your mind start to do as you hear that? You want to start training your mind to see what's going on, the reality of it. Because the more you can be truthful of where you are, the faster you can work on the right things to go where you are. If your connection and community and culture is not great, and you tell everyone and yourself that it is, you won't actively go and do the work. Also, if you think it's totally amazing, there's nothing else you can do, eventually you're going to get surpassed by someone else who doesn't think that. So make sure you're looking for ways for connection, and then work on your preferred reality. If no one's connected, or they are, or it doesn't matter where you are, maybe you've got a good internal connection, but you're not really connected with a community or partners. Some of our businesses, we go out and partner with Clean Up Australia. The boys would come together their own time and clean up the street that our office was on. Built so much connection between us, and we connected with a community. With 1% pledge, there's unlimited things you can do to go out into the community. Go renovate someone's home on the weekend, do someone's lawns for free. Doesn't matter what it is. And then your partners, how are you connecting with them? Can you invite them to some of your company things where you're connecting in with them, or connect them with your suppliers? The more you can be the connector, the more connection you will get. So go through that now and go through your preferred reality. We've got a great connection with our partners. They know who we are. We know all of the people inside their office. We know their accounts team, their sales team, their admin. Our sales team knows them. They know our entire team. We take them out once a quarter for lunch, their entire team, catch up with them, give them some rewards. Our peeps, they know most of our trades, or our trades know other people or suppliers. We can connect them to help them out. What is your preferred reality? Go through that now and keep on training your mind to go, this is where I want to go. Cool. So now you've gone through 4 times doing your preferred reality. If you've done it in other programs, you've done it dozens of times. You should be really starting to be able to paint a clear picture that inspires you. Not what someone else wants, what inspires you. Remember, 99% alignment, 1% what is. So next we're going to go through some mistakes people have with trying to build connection, because you can't force it. It's got to be built over time. Trust is earned, right? Trust is built, and trust can be wiped out in one sentence or one action. So one, we've got to be looking at how do we get more of it. I think what's more important is how do we not rip it apart in just one move. So let's go through some of the mistakes now. The first one is neglecting individual contributions. We want to reward the team and reward the individual, depending where we are. One-sided relationships, yeah. Someone's taking and never giving back. That's competition, that's not collaboration. Inconsistent engagement. We might do something every 3 years. We do something for 2 months in a row, then it doesn't happen again. How do we get people to know that things are going to happen? If you put in a social club like we talked about in a previous lesson, and no one comes for the first 4 months, and then you stop, we would have never have got to 90% of people coming. Overlooking team building activities. How often do you build community and connection through your teams? Can you bring some of the trades off site once a quarter? Maybe you have one person every quarter comes into the office and gets perspective on what has to happen in that air-conned wonderland. And then go back out to the guys and go, holy hell, they work so hard for us. And can you get people from the office to go on site on a 35-degree day and go, whew, I'm so grateful you guys push through when it's hard. And then how can you build team building activities? Ignoring feedback. Yeah. Oh, I try and give my feedback. Nothing happens. What's the point? And superficial community involvement. If you go out into the community and the intention is just to have a marketing play, people are going to go, oh, this is just for you to get marketing. This is just for you for a tax write-off. You're just donating that so you have to pay tax. But remember, it's what you communicate. You cannot not communicate. So you telling the people why you're doing it, being transparent, open and honest. And if it's superficial, you might as well not have done it. Like I said, you can spend so long building it up, and in one move it can be gone. That's why I've got to think about this at this level. Remember I told you at the start, every little tweak can have a massive upside, and every little tweak can go down the toilet. You can build a company really quick and it can be gone in a moment. So we've got to think at this level. What are my actions? What am I communicating here? So what mistakes have you made? What mistakes are you committed to avoiding? And what else can you share with us? So let's share some final wisdom in this blueprint around connection. Allow open communication. We said that honest communication, a safe place that allows people to communicate between each other, that they know there's not going to be recourse for them being honest of where they are. You want people to have peer-to-peer accountability. You don't always have to be the one, or your manager always the one, picking up on things. If the team go, hey, this is our standard and that's not good enough, because they've got a decent connection and understand how their success is the other person's success, you've won. Recognize and celebrate contributions to connection, to community. We used to have people, the trades would organize their own social club, and we would reward them for that because it's buy-in. Invest in team building activities. It's not an expense. In one of the companies, we have a quarterly retreat. One day, the entire company stops, comes together to do teamwork, and goes back out in the field to get them aligned. Engage with the community in the way you can. We had ones where the boys would just once a month bring their spare clothes and then would donate them to the Salvation Army. It doesn't have to be massive, but what can you do? Create inclusive opportunities where everyone can come together, not just management, the trades or laborers or apprentices. How do you bring everyone together and provide meaningful feedback? Don't you want to know where you stand? How often have you been in other situations, jobs or careers or businesses where people didn't tell you honestly? I know when you're the boss, I've been there before. The guys won't tell you everything honestly. You're like, man, I asked you for that. Why didn't you tell me? If you feel like that, how can you be the example where you let people know where they stand thoughtfully? How can you be honest and open with your feedback? So out of those, what have you learnt? What can you add to your overall plan to build an amazing spirit within your business? One that you can dominate the market and is worth your investment because no one can copy it. We're also going to go through now our 9 whats you can do. What can you do and a little bit of the how. Go through them. The reason we don't go through every single one is because we also want to teach people how to fish. If we're not there all the time and all of a sudden you're looking around for us to help you, we haven't done our job. You need to be constantly going out to the market, your team, looking for feedback and then finding ways to put it into place. We don't want to hold your hand and when we're gone, you're like, oh, where are you? That's not what we're here to build. We're here to build professional business runners. Don't worry, there's always going to be more stuff we can do in the future. So go through those 9 now, add them to your core cause rectification, keep adding to your symptom survey, go back through and add to your preferred reality, review the mistakes, review everything, and keep on developing a plan and be reasonable with time. As you learn all this stuff, one of the biggest mistakes you make is run off and just try and do everything at once. You're going to blow up your team. So go through them now and choose the 3 out of this 9 that you think are best for your business. Awesome. How'd you go? It's getting easier, right? If it's not, it will. And if it's coming easy, congratulations. If you've done it a ton of times, it gets easier and easier. But also if you've done it a ton of times, don't dive off in enthusiasm, right? I've done this heaps, it's easy. Still take it the time. Everything we do stacks and compounds to you building a brilliant business. So the 3 that we have, like we always will, we'll give you our opinion. And we're going to run through these in the weekly, bring yours along and we'll tailor it to your situation. But the first one is build collaboration across teams. How can you get people to have perspective and empathy for each other, especially between sales and projects? Hey, do you know how hard it was to win this job? I had to promise the back door to get it for you to be able to deliver it. And then in projects, you know how hard it was to deliver that without that information or make money with a back door in it? Get them to understand each other. Maybe get projects to go to a sales meeting, to go to an estimation. Get sales to hang out projects and see the problems they're having. Bring someone out of the field and into the office so they can learn how much they do. And then go, wow, when we stuff things up, I didn't realize you've got to make 13 calls and all these emails and organize this material and it costs like the company $800. I never knew that. Oh, I thought you just stay in the office all the time. You're actually out here on site, driving around, getting screamed at all day. How can you build collaboration and understanding and connection between people where they understand how everyone's working towards the same goals? How can you do that? Social interactions. Like we said, we put in a social club. They go bowling or gel blasting or playing darts, top golf. Doesn't matter what it is. What is it for you? And the one rule is you cannot talk about work. Yes, we can have banter around jobs and that, but it's not there to go, oh, look at your schedule. go clean your vehicle. It's about understanding that you're working with other human beings that have a family, that have dreams and goals, that have troubles and trauma, and understand that everyone's just trying to go and do their best towards their goal. Like in the trade industry, right? Someone comes to put down the concrete slab, it's not squared off. So when you come and frame it, you got to adjust it. They don't do it properly. So when you come and plaster, hang your sheets, plaster, everything's out of it. And we're just kicking the can down the road. You have people that care for each other. They're likely to clean up their job site. Do that extra couple little things to make the next person's job easier. When you've got that connection on a social level, to remember that the ultimate boss in the office still has his own life, has his own trials and tribulations and goals and dreams. The more you can build that into the company, that you're working with people, the better result you'll have. And then rituals. How do you come together consistently to connect? Especially after COVID, we've relinquished some offices in our companies, and then it's harder to keep connection and community, right? Through a Teams chat. Do you have a daily huddle, a weekly meeting, a monthly get-together, a quarterly team building? We're going to go into the heartbeat next to go through that much deeper. But what are the rituals you're building to build connection? Do you have a monthly trade meeting where all the trades come together with management or the entire company? Have a bit of a barbecue, have a bit of a catch-up, but also deliver some training, deliver some connection, and build a community. So go through those and see, what can I do? How can I implement it and bring it along to the weeklies? Talk to us in the community and get it into your business. Remember, try your best and really watch what's going on. Watch what's being communicated back to you. If no one's picking up on it, go, okay, cool. Did I deliver this in the right way? One of the stories I love to tell was, young Timmy comes up to you and says, I've done a good job, can I have my $5? You go, hey Timmy, here's the $5. Well done, you've done such a good job, carry on. We go, all right mate, here's the $5, get out of here. It's the same $5. It's the way you communicate it. You have to be the model of excellence. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a bit of a long road, this one. If you haven't got something great now, you have to weed for a while before you can plant new seeds and grow. Just like in our finances, right? Sometimes it's better to pay off debt than go and invest in some sort of investment. Sometimes there's work to be done. But when are you going to start? And how are you going to keep on growing your culture, your spirit within your business that's going to support you to scale an amazing business that has massive impact? It can leave a legacy long beyond you and support the life you want to live. So make sure we take the time here and go through it before we go to our next blueprint, and that's implementing a heartbeat into your business.